Uh, Very good morning to all. Very good morning to all. Uh, Today we have got the second edition of the lead generation series with us, and we have got our guest speaker, Mr. Ashutosh Rajdan, who is the CEO of Bonisons company. Now regarding Bonisons, I can tell you that Bonisons for over 35 years has been offering turnkey engineering solutions for the design and build of professional kitchens all around India as well as outside, and they proudly make made in India solutions. So their all designs are completely made in India. They are a very old company. They have a lot of great big clients in the market. So it is great to have Ashutosh ji uh, with us, who would be telling the details of the story of how Bonisons actually started its journey. So we would be more than interested to know the story of Bonisons more than the product. So obviously the product, we all know they have got a great design for all the kitchens, the professional kitchens. But I would now like to hand over the space to Mr. Ashutosh Rana ji, to Mr. Ashutosh Razdan ji. Thanks a lot, Ashutosh ji, for presenting your company in this lead generation series. Thanks a lot, and have a great day. Please, Ashutosh ji, you can continue. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhinav. Very good morning to everybody. And I would like to specifically start off by thanking Agency Network, Abhinav ji and Sunil ji, for allowing this opportunity to present to everybody over here what we are. Uh, I'll tell you two quick stories first about ourselves. One is about our name, Bonisons. It's derived from my grandmother's name. Her name was Buinimal, which basically means garland of flowers. And from Buinimal, we derived it into Bonisons. And, that's how the lineage continues. So that's the story about our name. Uh, the second story I would like to tell you is about our humble beginnings. I'm a second generation entrepreneur. The company was started by my father, Mr. C.L. Razdan, way back in 1985. We have very humble beginnings, uh, where we started manufacturing or making small pieces of equipment for local restaurateurs in and around Pune. We had just 300 square feet workshop. And since 1985, wherein I joined my father in 2003, today we are happy to inform everybody that we have a manufacturing facility that is spread over 10,000 square feet now. So it has been a struggle from right from being very small insignificant players to today, where we can stand up and tell everybody in India and across the world that yes, we can offer you very proudly made in India, best in class product solutions for your commercial and professional kitchens. So these are two small stories that I wanted to start off with. I will now very quickly present to you what we have as a standard format to inform our clients about what we do as an organization or what we can do as an organization for them. So if you'll just permit me, I'll share my screen. So there we go. So that's how we are spelled, Bonisons Equipment Private Limited. And our tagline is, we are your kitchen's engineers. Our vision is to provide turnkey engineering solutions uh, to design and build commercial kitchens. We will meet every infrastructural requirement from the weighing scale at the entry of the kitchen to the dining plate, which you will serve to your customer. We've been in the business since 1985, and we've been clocking close to INR 40 million over the last 3 to 4 years. Only in the manufacturing of stainless steel equipment. We also have a trading arm where we do trading for all the internationally imported and exported equipment. Uh, we are headed by two engineers, which is my father and myself, who have multiple years of experience in the manufacturing industry, with a focus on providing the best in class deliverables for each product that is made through the inclusion of latest manufacturing technologies. We collaborate with the General Group USA. Basically, they are among the leading designers in the Americas, and we do a lot of design work with them. Uh, we are probably the only kitchen equipment manufacturer in the country which uses a state-of-the-art Dassault Systems CATIA software. Just to give you an idea about the software that we use for designing our products, this is the same software that has been used to design the Rafale aircraft. Okay, so Dassault Systems, as everybody knows, is the owner of the Rafale aircraft, and they are supplying these fighter aircrafts to the country, and that the software on which that plane is designed is a software that we use to design our kitchen equipment. So what do we do as an organization? So there is a master plan, there is a concept design. On the basis of the concept design and the master plan, we develop a scheme for you. And in this scheme, we then put in the preliminary utility and load calculations that you require. Then we define the food service utility requirements, okay? And on the basis of these two inputs, we move ahead to make the detailed drawings, the tender specifications, and even then analyze the offers for you that you get from various vendors if the need be. We follow it up with shop drawing reviews, site construction administration, cost estimation for your overall project cost. We manufacture the equipment and assist you for procurement where we are not making the equipment, but we know that you can get it from elsewhere. For example, touch-free sliding doors for the kitchen, which we don't make ourselves, but we know that where you'll get a good product. Then the equipment installation and commissioning management. And finally, after the kitchen is built, assisting with handing over training of the operator. And if the need be, we on our board, we also have professional chefs who can assist with the operational planning, analysis, and execution. So it's like an end-to-end thing that we can do right from, so where the client just gives us the outer shell of the kitchen space and defines what he wants to deliver from that space. And we design and build everything else on the inside. These are a few of the client testimonials that we have received from our clients. Mr. Vinit Nagar, the MD of Tech Mahindra, had written a small 2-line note to us sometime back. Aubrey was a vice president of hospitality at the Lavasa Corporation, which was one of the largest hospitality facilities in the country at the time when it was in operation. He, of course, comes from an international background of work experience, having worked across the Americas and Europe for many years. Christopher Charles Penninger is in the architectural fraternity. He's called the master. Okay, he has some of the most exceptional buildings to his name, and he had written a small letter to us a short while back. Few more testimonials from Infosys, Accenture, KPIT Cummins, IPMSL, which is our project management arm of ILNFS, Kohinoor Group of Hotels. A few of our other clients include Sodexo, World City, Tech Mahindra, whom we already mentioned, Infosys, Aditya Birlas, Vadhavan Clubs and Resorts, Lavasa, Holiday Inn. If you see the last one there, Nokia. This was, in terms of sheer size, this was probably one of our largest projects so far. where we built a kitchen to serve over 40,000 people. Uh, and it was this project was in Chennai, Sri Perumbudur, Chennai, where we all know that the temperatures are very high, and to build a kitchen to serve meals to 40,000 people and to maintain the ambient temperature in that kitchen at 27 degrees was one of our biggest engineering challenges that we have faced so far. And it's actually a very interesting project if somebody would be interested in looking it up. Some other clients include HBC, KPIT Cummins, LG, again a manufacturing facility, Alpha Laval, Bitwise, Mars Chocolates, are right up there in terms of demands for hygiene maintenance from the kitchen, because they themselves are food manufacturers. Then Star TV, Atlas Copco, Sama, Bajaj Auto, Suzlon, etc., etc. These are few of our current clients. Ecole Hotel Lausanne is the world's premier hospitality training institution based out of Switzerland, and now they have a facility here in Pune. And of course, other hotels. I'm sure you've all seen these brands. These are base kitchens for manufacturing industries. So Nokia that I mentioned, Volkswagen, again, a facility, a very large facility where the Germans were very particular about the design of the kitchen, the operational flow, the equipment efficiency, the ventilation requirements, very keenly monitored by their head office in Germany, which also served as the base kitchen to serve the it was the kitchen at Volkswagen also serves as a base kitchen for the Lufthansa Airlines. So these guys knew their food. These are few of the projects that we've done. We are currently also doing 2 other hospitals besides the ones listed here. Then, of course, Aditya Birlas, Jones Lang LaSalle, Cushman and Wakefield, CBRE, IPMSL. These are all project management companies, and we do a lot of work with them. We are currently working with JLL on the Carrier Midea project at Supa near Nagar. And a few of our associates, we mentioned the PMCs earlier. Then, of course, some of the biggest architects in the country to include Hafiz G, Venkatraman and Associates, Christopher Charles, Nitin Parleka, Arch Vista, a few hotels, hotel management institutions, schools. So we have the American School of Bombay. Now the American School is going to be putting up a facility in Bangladesh, and they've invited us over there also. And of course, the hospitals that we mentioned earlier. This is a quick lookup on the kind of uh, uh, manufacturing base that we have. Since from the time of the CNC press brake of 80 tons, we have also procured another machine, and we do our cutting on plasma cutting machines, which are numerically controlled. Excuse me. All our welding is done on argon. We have a spot welding machines, and the finishing technology that we use is a 3M finishing technology, which allows us to deliver a world-class product. We use a lot of Hitachi machines for our grinding. Um, the number of kitchens that we made is in excess of 300. We'll be probably reaching 350 in the next year or so. And this figure of 150,000 people per year will also go up to around 175,000 people every year. A few of the international associations that we work with Charvet from France, Elro, ICOS, Firex, Vianen for the ventilation systems, Angelopo, Middleby, Winterhalter, and of course Electrolux. This is a quick look up at how our organization looks. We have my father, Mr. C.L. Rajan, is the executive director. Then I am a director in the company. We have a design studio where we have around 6 people working on design. We have site engineers who are meant for installation and maintenance requirements. Then we have a head for non-cooking equipment, which basically are the tables, racks, etc. Then we have one for refrigeration. Then we have one for bulk cooking equipment, that's BCE. And we subcontract some work for ducting and piping occasionally on sites. And the exports team, we have a service team of around 12 people, which are involved in the installation and maintenance of imported equipment. And that's where we operate, the India and GCC. We'll soon be adding Bangladesh hopefully to this, and of course Nepal. And I think that's a quick brief on what we are and what we can do. And I am now open to questions if anybody has some.
Thanks a lot, Ashutoshi. A very, very, a great, wonderful achievements that you had as a company. I did not certainly know about this for certain, and it's so nice to hear you. I would request anyone who has any questions can directly ask Ashutoshi. We have people on Facebook as well. Let me see. Just give me a moment. Or you can directly mail to Ashutosh ji as well. All the details have been given in the slide in the presentation.
You were having a question about cloud kitchens earlier. If you would like to continue that question.
Yes, Ashutosh ji. I just wanted to know details about cloud kitchen, because there is a concept which is coming regarding cars, wherein all the major companies have actually started a system wherein you can use cars for a certain amount of time, maybe 2-3 years. They'll be fully serviced cars, and then you can leave it. You can pay a certain amount, and then so is it something like that? Wherein you can take a kitchen for a specified amount of time and then use it, and then you pay for it, but you don't have to own it. You don't have to purchase the whole kitchen. It'll save you a lot of money.
Very true. What you're saying is definitely a part of the concept of cloud kitchens. So the way I would explain a cloud kitchen is, very simply to put it and to understand it, is
Ashutoshi, if you can just stop share, you can stop sharing of your
need
screen.
to do. There are going to be multiple cuisine requirements from different product suppliers.
Okay.
And just one moment.
You can stop the share screen so that you're visible full screen.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Great, fantastic.
Okay. So I was trying to explain earlier. So a cloud kitchen owner will predominantly be somebody who will be an aggregator of various cuisine or menu offers. So somebody's offering a Chinese, somebody's offering a Greek, somebody's offering a Mediterranean cuisine, somebody's offering Indian. So this guy's going to put up a kitchen facility and he's going to say, look, guys, I can make anything for you in your menu, and I will make it and give it to you. All you guys have to do is do your marketing and your selling of your food product, and I will make it as per the specifications that we mutually agree upon. Having said that, it is a very exciting concept, and predominantly the idea is to cut the investment that one requires in building their restaurant and then marketing their restaurant, and spending the money to promote their brand and their product. So what a cloud kitchen does is it basically cuts out the expense of building the facility, and you build one facility and you share it across multiple product offerings. So that reduces the liability. So you can do it on rent, you can do it on a timeshare. I'm sure they will have multiple options. And from a restaurateur's point of view, that is a very, very good offer. Having said that, the ability for a cloud kitchen to be able to sustain this level of menu deliveries over a elongated or a long period of time is something that we are waiting to see how it goes.
Sure.
But yes, it does have a very bright future.
Yeah.
As
Yeah. I was just about to ask you that, is it really futuristic? Because maybe it is the only option that we are left with the kind of COVID situation, across the world, wherein people want to save money and they want to somehow, do their work as well. And they want to somehow save their capital, save their investment as well.
very true.
Uh,
Having
Great.
said that,
Yeah.
sorry, Abhinav, just
Yeah,
one
sure.
quick
Sure,
point
sure.
here. You
Yeah.
see, for the connoisseurs of food, okay, guys who are very particular about what they eat,
Mhm.
a cloud kitchen offering may not be something that they will look at,
All right.
because it's going to be I would predict that it's going to be a very run of the mill offer. Okay,
Correct.
you're going to have your very standard product offerings from cloud kitchens. So
Not very customized as
exactly,
as you would have actually
exactly.
liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody knows what a burger is. Okay,
Correct.
but a classical American burger with all the ingredients, not very few I mean, there are very few people who actually recognize the correct ingredients for
You're right.
designer burger, so to say.
Correct. So there is so what you're saying is it is quite fine for the present times, but if you want to really get very customized kind of menu, then this is not a great option,
True.
going forward.
That is from the customer's point of view.
Yeah.
If I'm a product user, from my point of view, then see, it's a very run-of-the-mill offer. That's a fact, and it is a solution for the commodity market.
Correct.
And the commodity market is a very big market. Let's not run away from that fact. So in terms of that space of that business, this offering, it does definitely have a very bright future. But if you're looking at gourmet cuisines, if you're looking at exclusive product offerings, this may not be part of the solution, at least for some time.
I had another question, Ashutoshi. Now, when you say made in Bharat, made in India or made in Bharat, so what do you exactly mean by that? You mean to say that all turnkey solutions means right from scratch to the, to the end product, every design, everything, and turnkey also means that you can, directly integrate your kitchen solutions into any business, so they don't have to worry about it. So that's a great thing. That's a great thing. So what I mean to say is everything right from the equipment to your design, everything is made in India. So this is a great example of make in India. As our PM normally always says that everything should be make in India. So Bonisons is a great example of make in India. That's what I
Yeah,
want to.
thank you. I see we take a lot of pride in that, Abhinav. And let me just quickly put across to the people here. See, when I'm looking at a kitchen, what people think about is a few burners.
Correct.
Okay. So you'll have some, burner platforms, and there will be these handis that are going on top of that, or these large pots that are going on top of that burner, and the cooking is done.
Mhm.
And they think that's what a kitchen is about. But let me explain to you a few things that are involved in designing a kitchen. See, first and foremost is something called as workflow.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
right from material entry, storage, or before storage, from
Yes.
material entry, receiving, pre-washing, storage, pre-preparation, uh, then cooking, then holding, pre-serving, holding, actual serving, then dishwashing, pot washing. Now, this is the kitchen operation. Now, what are the support activities? The support activities include the ventilation system, Support activities include the plumbing system. So if I'm cooking in hot water, I'm going to throw some of that hot water on the floor. Where is that hot water going to go? There has to be a proper plumbing system which is going to take that away very quickly without allowing for any risk to the operator.
Correct.
So there's a plumbing system. There is a ventilation system. In today's day, where we are facing this pandemic, the ventilation in a kitchen is one of the most critical components. We are looking at ultraviolet filtration of the fresh air that is supplied into the kitchen with the filter level of 5 microns, with a filtration level of 5 microns.
Yeah.
And that 5 micron air, which is disinfected using UV, is going to replace the fumes that you're generating in your kadai.
Awesome.
Okay. So we have to understand that there is a certain amount of pull and there is a certain amount of push of the air, and all this is an engineering exercise. The kind of lighting you have in the kitchen. Okay. I can't allow people to look at dark spaces in the kitchen because those dark spaces are going to be the hotbeds of pests, infestation. And they have to be, you have to ensure that everything is visible so that it's clean. We are looking at, cleaning. If I have to clean the equipment, how do I clean? So steam cleaning is a huge option for us. The door designs, the ceiling designs. I don't want the fumes or the dust particles to go and rest on the ceiling. And if they do, then how do I clean it? The flooring, where the person walks, what is the design of the flooring? If a person is standing on a drain, and if it can't be a drain where the person's foot slips, so there has to be a specific design to that. Now it's a kitchen, so there is a high possibility of a fire. So how do I ensure that a fire suppression system is included in the kitchen? So there are multiple engineering
Dimensions.
activities that happen while designing a kitchen facility, especially if I have an Infosys. Now their core business is software. All right. Their core business is not running a kitchen.
Absolutely.
Okay. So they're going to give it to somebody to run. And at the same time, as a client owner, if I'm Infosys, I want to be sure that that facility is going to run without any hurdles, without any risks, without any health risks, without any food related risks. Where I mean, the Hinjewadi facility has 20,000 people. It's very easy for one of them to fall ill.
Yeah, I was I was actually working in Hinjewadi, not in Infosys, but in Wipro. So I was thinking I was thinking maybe I had one of your kitchens actually gave a lot of food
actually
to
you
me.
do.
Yeah, really
Actually
fantastic. So so what I understand from what you're saying is that you actually hand over a complete professional kitchen to big companies, to big institutes, or for that matter, any big great organization or a big organization, maybe small organization, not necessarily a big organization. So that means technology-wise, of course, every organization has a separate need. They require a separate customization. So they would obviously, discuss this with you. But apart from handing over a complete professional kitchen, is it that you practically run the kitchen? Obviously, which would not be the case. You would just be taking care of their AMC or maybe the facility. If they have any issues, then you have a backup service support, or if there is any issues with the design or anything. But obviously,
it's a very important observation, Abhinav. I must compliment you on asking this question. Because what happens is, as a client owner, many people will tell me, okay, Ashutosh and Bonisons, you guys have got this design, but I don't know if it will work.
Correct.
And I don't know if my operator is going to be happy with this.
Absolutely.
So the answer to that is, see, over the last so many years of working in the industry, what we've done is we've developed a lot of excellent relations with some of the largest operators in the country and the world. Okay. Organizations like Sodexo, Compass, these are two of the very common names that you'll find in many food facilities, large food facilities across the country. We did enter into a joint agreement with Sodexo some time back. We are working with Compass very actively. and the kitchens that we develop, we can very confidently say that these are compliant and these are suited to the requirements, the hygiene, health and hygiene requirements that are defined by these operators for their kitchens. So very confidently, any client who asks me, if I have a Compass or a Sodex or any large catering organization who will be running your kitchen, will they be comfortable with it? And my answer is yes. There is no doubt absolutely or whatsoever on that question.
Is there any ISO like 20,000 or any sort of a standard compliance that is required for kitchen? Because that is very important for people to know.
Another very good question, Abhinav. So there is a standard called as ISO 22,000. Okay, and I am a qualified ISO 22,000 auditor myself.
Great.
I've been trained to be an auditor. Uh, now, it's also commonly called, in kitchen operation parlance, it's called as HACCP, which means hazard analysis and critical control points. Okay, so HACCP standards are the standards that we try to include. So those are standards for the kitchen, but we can tell all our clients that look, the equipment that we will be recommending and installing for you will be HACCP and will assist you to be HACCP compliant. So I tell a lot of my clients that we need to design, or we need to include hygiene, or rather ease of hygiene maintenance in the infrastructure design.
Okay.
I don't want to have a table which I cannot clean on the underside.
Correct.
I do not want to have a hood which I cannot clean with just a swipe of my jet spray. So it has to be, the product design has to ensure that there are no corners, no edges, no possibility for a pest to reside and make space for himself. So the infrastructure itself has to be designed in a manner that allows the kitchen to meet the HACCP standards with ease.
Great. So these HACCP standards are certain guidelines that you can that need to be followed in every situation with all the clients that you have, right? So it is a kind of a template that needs to be followed everywhere, everywhere, maybe in Infosys, maybe
Yes.
in Wipro. So
Yes.
you can't just go out of it, because obviously you need to follow the guidelines.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know, is there any specific difference between the how much time does it take for you to customize between two different organizations? Like, are there any significant design changes between two or three different
Most certainly.
organizations?
I've never repeated a kitchen design, ever.
Awesome.
Each and every kitchen is different. And see, predominantly it is determined by a couple of factors. First and foremost, of course, the client owner expectations in terms of what they want as a delivery from the kitchen facility. And every client owner, so like you are different from me, so your expectations will be different from mine. So every client owner is different, and predominantly that defines what the client wants. Um, Equally important, which of course does not get relevant attention, are site-specific challenges. So we have kitchens that are built over 2 levels. We have kitchens that are built over 3 levels. So vertical movement becomes a challenge on one in many cases. So like I said, every site, I mean, I can go on and on in terms of the differences that various sites have. But these are two quick examples. One is, of course, client owner expectations, and then site specific challenges which define how the kitchen needs to be built.
One more thing I just want to ask you, before I ask you the main question as to how did you actually think to come into this particular line, because it seems to be a very unique domain, a domain which I have not seen any KP, at least, because there are other people, who might have ventured into this, but you're the only person whom I know actually who has ventured into this very unique, very out of the world kind of a domain. How did CL Razan sir, because I know him as well,
I have great regards for him. He actually
Thank you.
addressed us in our Pune conference, and he's a great guy. He's a
Thank
very innovative person and very humble person. So how did you come about, choosing this particular line?
Okay, so for me it was very easy. Okay, but for him it was very difficult.
Yeah,
Full
that's what
credit.
I
Full
want to
credit.
ask.
Yeah, so full credit goes to my father, Mr. C.L. Razdan, for putting up this concept of making this kind of equipment, for thinking about this kind of business. Uh, you see, there are a lot of manufacturers of, or I wouldn't call them manufacturers. I would say there are a lot of fabricators, stainless steel fabricators. But to develop from being a fabricator and instead offer your organization as someone who can provide an engineering solution, it has been a long journey. We have kept on developing skills. I mean, while I can, manufacture a stainless steel equipment, I can also exchange engineering solution thought processes with the ventilation design team. The ventilation design team is a separate team altogether. So I need to exchange engineering solutions with the electrical consultant, the plumbing consultant, the ventilation consultant, the civil finishes guy, interiors guy, the ceiling guy, the lighting guy, the building management system guy. When in some cases we have a remote control for some of the equipment in the kitchen. So there is a host of people who are involved, and what happens is in the project fraternity, all of us, we usually work together to make sure that the project is delivered as per the client expectations. The architectural team plays a huge role in this.
Right.
Okay, they are the primary drivers of this coordination, because from the architectural perspective, they need to make sure that all this engineering stuff that we do, it needs to look good. Otherwise we'll just make some
Absolutely.
ugly looking facility. And
But
so yeah.
this architecture team, is it really outsourced, or is it something which you do yourself?
No, the architect is always appointed by the client.
By the client.
Okay.
Okay.
We are not involved, or
Into
we have no
designing
say.
what they will.
Yeah. So the building design, see, because
Yeah.
the kitchen facility is actually one of the smallest packages in large projects.
Correct.
Okay. So if I'm looking at a 500 crore building project or a campus project, the kitchen facility will be around 10 crores.
Right.
Okay, so that's the kind of importance it has. But having said that, while the ticket value in terms of the overall package size is small, but it does even today remain one of the most challenging facilities to build, in all these campuses,
It is
because
most
food
vital.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
food is a core. I mean,
Yeah.
you feed your employee good food, he's going to come back into the office happy.
I really understand that more than anybody else. I was in Pune for some time, and we used to get so happy, while we used to
Yeah,
go to have our masala dosa in queue, and
exactly,
upma.
exactly.
So it is awesome. What is the ticket size? You said that out of 500 crore facility, this 10 crore is. What is the average general ticket size? Like how many crore, and how much time does it take for you to assemble or to pass this project? Right from the idea stage to actually deliver it to the project. So, what is the timelines? General timelines are obviously everything. It differs from customer to customer.
So, yeah. So, see, when we talk projects or anybody in the projects fraternity, he immediately understands that time is something that nobody can predict.
Correct.
Okay. Because there are so many unforeseen challenges.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for example, this pandemic. Not that it is a regular challenge,
Mhm.
but it is something that has just hit you in the gut and just knocked the wind out of all of us.
Yeah, very
Nobody
surprising.
expected this.
Nobody expected.
Nobody expected this. And it's not just stopping the work. It's, I would call it the media hype also to a fair extent, but the kind of fear that it has put into people, uh, is really disheartening. Uh, so, but leaving the pandemic bit aside, even if when we are working on various sites, for example, uh, you make a plan and you start digging, and you find that the soil is not as per what you wanted, so that will just knock off another 3 to 6 months. of the project timelines. While executing, even after everything is finalized, there are so many challenges while doing the work on the ground, which, sitting in an office and making a design on AutoCAD or on a CATIA software is different from actually getting it executed on sites, because it is completely unpredictable.
Absolutely.
Having said that, so when we build a project, for example, now if I have to see my current project, one of my current projects for the Carrier Media Group, they're building a factory for around 3,500 people in Supa near Nagar. So a kitchen for 3,500 people goes to approximately, just the equipment that we are doing is around 2 CR.
Okay.
And the rest of the facility will go to an additional roughly between maybe 3.5 to 4 CR. So anywhere between 5 to 6 CR is just the cost of that kitchen facility.
Kitchen facility. Absolutely. I think,
Sunil Trisalji had a question. Sunilji, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thanks, Abhinav. Thanks, Ashwin, for coming on board. And it was really quite an insight from your side as far as this whole industry is concerned. I got two questions from you. One is I'm trying to represent fraternity from hospitality, because we had a couple of discussions with you also. What is that you've seen in this pandemic? How this whole industry, hospitality, in terms of when we say where hotels itself, the travels, the events management companies, the production houses, etc., all are suffering. So, how do you see in coming months this industry going to shape up, or bleak hope from your perspective, and what can be done, or for those business lines is in terms of what's your suggestion to them also? If I would like to hear this from you.
Okay, you want to ask a second question also first, or should we
Second
wait?
question, yes. I would just ask this question again. Second question, based on now, Bonisons is a very big name. So, would you like to go for partnerships? I mean, what we see in audiences, there was one question coming to us from Bangalore, that would you go for partners, channel partners, in terms of expansion, or maybe the kind of a sharing knowledge base or again giving opportunities to community of entrepreneurs who want to diversify. You have got skill set, technology with you, and if they have what set up and the match skill set, why can't you look for them as a partners? That's again from especially to the KB community who are watching us across globe. So these are the two questions from my side. I would like you to please address.
Okay. So I'm not going to speak as some sort of an expert, because I'm not one, on the future of the hospitality industry after the pandemic. But what I can share with you is what I've heard from some of the owners whom I've interacted with in the hospitality industry. Owners, CEOs, directors, people at the top level who are, in the thick of things, so to say, in the hospitality industry. Number one, it is it's a punch in the gut, okay, for the hospitality industry. It's a really, really tough time that everybody's going through. It's just knocked the wind out of the existing stable players, and for the guys who are trying to come up, I mean, nothing can be worse. I personally know of multiple cases where people have just invested in hospitality facilities, be it restaurants or hotels. And I mean, one of my projects in Varanasi had just started. I mean, they just inaugurated and the pandemic hit. Having said that, I think the hospitality industry people are a bunch of people who are tough as nails. They've seen a lot of downsides. They are an industry which has not got its due in terms of recognition as an industry. So they know how to maneuver themselves and come out of tough situations. My expectation is that the market, in terms of how it was traditionally known, as people who are traveling, going and staying in hotels, using the facilities, paying for it, coming back. That travel is going to get affected very significantly. And as a result of that, the spaces available in hotels are going to be underutilized, which is why I'm seeing a fair number of people in the hotel industry. Uh, they're using their facilities for alternative purposes. COVID quarantine centers is one of the possibilities that they are working on, and some of them are actually doing it. Besides that, there are other options that they are exploring. So uh, it's something that people are just developing, and new stories are coming up every day. COVID quarantine centers is one thing that we've heard. Some people are renting out their rooms as office spaces at lower rates. But something that there are a lot of people who are individual owners who want an office space, who want a room. So they're doing some of that. Uh, so what people are going to do in terms of how to reuse their facilities, what they're actually going to do is something that we'll come to know as time moves on. But yes, nobody's sitting idle. Nobody's just sitting back there and saying like this is the end of it. We are getting up, we are fighting, we are going to see a lot of, if not cross state movement, but within state movement, especially from the tourism point of view. So like for example, after the pandemic or during the pandemic, you may have gone out with your family for a short drive. I mean, we've had enough of sitting in the house, I just want to go out for a 10-minute drive. So gradually this will extend to other things. You may take a day out, you may not want to go to a eatery, you not want to go to a hotel and stay, but you may just want to go out, and slowly these things will develop. So I'm thinking for things to go back to the way they were earlier, it will take at least a year, anywhere between a year to 2 years. And we are all very anxiously waiting for a vaccine to happen. And if that does happen, I think the hospitality industry will come back with a bang. So that's my 2 bits on the pandemic. Coming to the second question, the answer immediately is yes, we are open to sharing knowledge, to sharing information, exchanging information. Um, uh, there are people in the industry who do only one part of the kitchen, or do maybe offer one product, and they may be looking for collaborations to offer the complete solution. So the answer is most certainly yes. And a word of caution in that would be that when we are entering into collaborations, um, we really need to be very clear in terms of what we expect from each other in terms of the final delivery, and a proportional identification of roles, responsibilities, and reimbursements needs to be thereby defined. So that's my response to the second question.
Great, Ashutosh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Apart from the topic, Ashutosh ji, I would just like to ask you one thing. What is the status of the very innovative brick that CL Razdan ji had made? For which you normally, you would have seen that a great demonstration of that was in the Pune conference. There was a speciality in that brick, if I remember that. What was the speciality? First of all, you can just try to tell us. And there was that cleaning facility, that kind of an automated cleaner wherein you can clean the roads automatically. And he was saying that he was speaking to the Pune Municipal Corporation. They were very interested in the project. So first of all, I would just like to get updates on these two innovations of CL.
So see, my father has always been and continues to be an innovator. He loves doing his experiments and finding out what can happen in different cases. The pandemic has made him think even more. So he's he's doing a lot of development, as in terms of what product solutions can be offered to take care of the pandemic. But coming to the brick design is something that I would say, in terms of design, the development is fairly significant. I think we are nearing the end of the development. And the next phase is identifying the materials that can be, because you need to look at a material that is sustainable in terms of availability and in terms of processing. We are at this stage, we are in the process of defining those materials. And parallelly, we have applied for a patent for the design of the brick.
Yeah, it's
Which
very
is
important.
under process. Um, and the
What
second
about the
bit,
cleaning? Yeah,
yeah,
the
please tell me.
cleaning machine. Yeah.
Yeah, the cleaning machine. So we had fantastic responses from the local municipal corporation, and I'm not talking about the officers. I'm actually talking about the cleaners on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, because they are
It
the
is
guys.
they. It is they who actually matter. But then the decisions are taken by their bosses.
Exactly.
Unfortunately,
Exactly.
I can understand.
Exactly. So we had a very I think it was a humbling experience more than anything, in terms of, because after the pandemic, and I think that one act of our prime minister where he was washing the feet of the street cleaners has brought these people into the awareness radar of the country.
Correct.
Otherwise, for all these years we've been living in a different mentality, and when we ourselves interacted with these people, and when we saw that they were just happy that somebody was recognizing their effort,
Finally, correct.
and they were just, you could see it in their eyes and you could see it in their exchange. And I think and my father, Mr. CL Razan, actually does all this only for that. He's not bothered about the economics.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know that.
So
that's the real spirit of entrepreneurship, which is
exactly,
absolutely fantastic, because that is pure entrepreneurship rather than
exactly,
getting into the economics and the companies
exactly.
scales.
So for him, that is his biggest joy.
Correct.
Okay, and then I probably just pick it up from there and see whether it's
Commercially
working, not
viable.
working financially. But it's very difficult to convince him that, look, what you're doing is not financially viable. So he's not bothered. He's like, as far as I'm able to ensure that it delivers a certain level of comfort for somebody, especially people from this section of society, that is the biggest satisfaction that he has.
But Ashutoshji, I would just like to ask is another connected question for this. In India, is it really difficult to make an idea, start with a great idea, or obviously Razanji, for example, made this brick thing, and this automated cleaning machine for which there was a demonstration. He showed us the video. Is it really difficult for people to do something out of the league and come out with an innovative product? But then at the end of the day, is there any lack of help from the government wherein you
So
can't
why would you?
materialize?
Sorry,
Uh,
Abhinav.
yeah.
I'll just interrupt you very quickly. Why would anybody want anything to be easy?
That's right. That's right.
Ease is a
Ease of doing
concept.
business, for example,
Yeah, ease of
yeah.
yeah. So ease is a concept that is predominantly a Western construct. Okay. Uh, the Indian construct has a concept of karma yogis.
You're right.
We
Oh,
are
that's
here
right.
to work.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is something I've learned from my father. Okay, there is nothing like comfort. I mean, my father doesn't drive a automatic car. Okay, he says, am I going to put myself in a situation that I want so much comfort that I can't change a gear and press a clutch pedal? So he comes from that background, and I've trained under that. Okay, and that's what I've learned. So number one, if you are wanting things to be easy, they'll probably be that much more difficult. Number two, if we are ready for something to be difficult, we are mentally prepared to face the challenges and overcome them. And if I have to talk to any new entrepreneur who's coming into the industry, or anything that anybody wants to do not look for easy. You have to be ready to work with your hands. You have to be ready to work with your brains. You have to be ready to slog it out. And in your peak and your prime time of your life, where you have to slog, that once you do that, once you're able to execute that slog, it will deliver you for the rest of your life.
Very right.
So don't be afraid of the word difficult. Do not rely on something that is easy, because something that is easy is not cheap.
Right.
Okay. If it's easy, it's not working for you the way you want it. You do it the difficult way. Make sure that you make difficult easy, and it will take you through your life.
Fantastic, fantastic. Ashutosh. I would request anyone who has any questions. Romelji, I think Romelji is also from travel industry. Just a general question, Ashutosh. See, I can understand the travel industry. You yourself said has been affected a lot. All the industries, especially travel, holidays. I just want to know one thing. Is it really time for people in travel industry or maybe your industry to, diversify or get into something which is very related to your industry, but not wait for things to be fine? And, because,
Absolutely.
a world would be a very different world. We are entering into a very different zone, a very different world where priorities are different, where situations are different. So why not to diversify rather than wait for situation? Because things may not look exactly the same. The rules of the game of the games has changed dramatically. Rules of engagement or rules of the game. So what do you think about it?
Uh, See, diversifying is something that one must do. Of course, this is my personal opinion, and I submit it in all humility. It is anybody can differ from it. Uh, but if you were to ask me about diversification, see, I will diversify when I have saturated what I'm doing right now. Okay, I've done everything I can uh, in what I'm currently doing. Okay, what I would do in this and what I'm actually doing at this time, I would consolidate. I would make my resources stronger. I will invest time, effort, and money in building up my capabilities. I will train myself to make sure that I'm unmatched in my delivery.
Sure.
It's not just me, but also my employees. I will make sure that they have learned things that are going to improve their ability to deliver when normal returns. So that's how I would define consolidating.
Correct.
So at this time, bring it together, strengthen it, make your base stronger, so that the point of saturation in what you're doing right now comes quicker. And I would recommend that you look at diversifying after that.
Very right, sir. Ashutosh ji, time is about up, and really thankful to you for accepting our invite to be our guest speaker today. And it has been a big revelation to me, because to be very frank, I have interacted so much with CL Razdanji, but I never knew exactly what you were doing. This was a very fascinating presentation, because
Indeed.
I never knew it was so deep. The science was too deep
Indeed.
and too cutting edge. So thanks a lot, Ashutosh ji, and all the audience, all the Facebook audience. You have been absolutely fantastic. So thanks a lot, and our very best wishes to your company, to Bonisons, to really improve. You already are a big name in our industry, and we hope that you more and more progress
Thank
in
you
your
so much,
chosen field.
Abhinav and Sunil, and to the whole team who has organized
Thank
this
you, sir.
whole setup. It is, we very strongly appreciate your efforts, and thank you everybody for attending.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.